Hi guys, today we're going to be answering some frequently asked questions that we get about our TurtleBug stand.
These are real emails from real customers, and we've compiled the ones that we get most often.
So we hope this helps you enjoy your TurtleBug stand even more. That's so funny. Customer question number 1. This is about their TurtleBug Chair Stand. I set up my TurtleBug chair on uneven ground and it fell over. Now I'm afraid to use it anywhere except flat ground. What happened?
Well, it's one of two things. You set up with all your weight on your stabilizer pole, which means your legs aren't even touching the ground, or you set up and your stabilizer pole was a very long ways off the ground and you shifted your weight in your stand so hard that when it moved, it picked the legs off the ground like that.
Seems violent.
Well, it all comes down to the initial setup. Just remember these legs, the stand itself was designed for uneven ground. So if you notice, you have a lot of rock here. You want rock, but not that much rock. So these legs just adjust. Just pick them up and move them in until your stand barely moves. And that's where you leave it. So to prove I'm not full of it, Kristen's going to follow me around this little campground, and I'll set it up in several different places and show you how to adjust the legs and show you that it's stable everywhere. So first place.
All right, and would you say this is pretty flat ground?
Yeah, that's
All
fairly flat. So we'll just move around. Let's go.
Come on, Cinnamon. Just by this tree.
Way over there?
Yeah.
So if you look, when I first set it down, the legs rock a lot, and this end's almost in a hole. So if you scooch the legs in until you just barely have any rock, and then we can move it somewhere else. Here, this is definitely on the side of a hill right here.
It's hard to tell on camera as usual.
Same thing, just scoot it in so it just barely has a little bit of rock to it.
So maybe walk up the hill so we can see that it's a hill. Watch Cal get higher.
Hill.
Yep. That back leg isn't on the ground.
Yep. So not only do you adjust the legs this way, but also this way. In summary, one stabilizer pole should be on the ground and the other one should be not off the ground too far.
But definitely off the ground.
But definitely off the ground.
Okay. Okay, next question. I was setting up and had just put my tarp on my TurtleBug stand and the wind caught it and blew it over. I'm very frustrated. What would you say to that person?
Stake it down.
When?
Immediately. Let me show you how.
This is pretty simple to tackle. All you have to do is stake your stand down when it's in this state. That means before one single piece of fabric gets attached to your stand, you stake the stand directly to the ground. The reason being, as soon as you put a tarp or a hammock on your stand, it turns into a giant sail. And we pride ourselves on making really lightweight hammock stands, but that also means they're prone to wind.
The easiest way to stake down the stand is just look right in between where the feet are on the ground. Take a stake and just just put it in right just like that, right in between them. This could also be a heavy rock. This could also be a bag filled with sand, depending on where you're at. Take one of our sliding tie downs, or if you have your own preferred method of tensioners, use that. I just will loop it through that hole really quick. You can also use a carabiner. I just come and clip that right on the stake and pull that snug. And I'll do that on the other end too, but that still allows your stand to move back and forth, but side to side, it's not going to go anywhere. The TurtleBug can still rock back and forth, but side to side, it's pretty secure.
That's not going anywhere.
Now you're free to attach your hammock or your rainfly to your stand. Hammock in peace with no worries that anything's going to blow away. Of course, you should still stake your rainfly down after this, but this will allow everything to stay secure while you're setting it up.
This is my high school colors.
Yeah.
Green and gold. All right, ready for this one?
Absolutely.
I set up my TurtleBug stand for the first time yesterday. I made sure it was stable and all the poles were on the ground before I got in it. I sat slowly with no problem, but when I laid down and started moving around, I found myself on the ground and my stabilizer pole was bent.
What happened was you didn't have your 5 points of contact. Both of your stabilizers were on the ground, and when you put your weight on it, it just lifted your legs up off the ground, and there was nothing to keeping it, just slowly tipped over.
But wouldn't it make it more sturdy if both stabilizer poles are on the ground?
You would think, but it doesn't. You should probably go watch this video and the setup video, and that should answer most of your questions. What happens when you have both stabilizer poles on the ground? If you can imagine, it pushes in on the ridge pole. And of course, what will happen is if you have, say you weigh 200 pounds, you're transferring 200 pounds directly to the middle of the ridge pole, trying to bend it. And when you can move freely, there's nothing to brace against, so there's nothing to bend, so that's why it can hold your weight how it does. And then once you lie down, it doesn't move anyway. It's like it, because your top end is heavier than your lower body, so when you lay down,
It'll settle.
it'll just settle to one side and it doesn't move while you're sleeping.
So it's counterintuitive, but don't worry, you are completely secure, and you're more secure if your stand has that little TurtleBug rock in it.
So I'm going to scooch the legs in to put both of the stabilizer poles on the ground, and maybe you can see what happens when that happens.
Yep, you can see the ridge pole go up.
More to that point though is when you're setting up, say you set up on a hill and now your stabilizer pole is this far off the ground. When you get in it, all your weight's going to shift like that to that stabilizer pole, and it's going to lift your legs off the ground and you'll fall over also. So that's another thing, no matter where you're setting up, always scoot your legs in so that you just have a little bit of rock. You don't want to set up and have like that much rock, especially if you're bigger, because your momentum will carry over to the stabilizer pole and it'll pick the legs up. But you won't have any problems at all if you just make sure you just barely have any rock at all like that, and you'll be fine. One of the advantages of this, having a smaller stabilizer pole, is obviously it cuts down on weight, and also it will flex a little bit so your weight remains on the legs and doesn't transfer to the stabilizer poles. It will hold the force that it's designed to hold, but only if you use it correctly.
I placed an order for a TurtleBug stand last night, and I'm wondering what the warranty is on the TurtleBug Camper. I'm going to be using this every day. I'm sure it'll be fine since the River King used it in the Grand Canyon and had no problems, and I will just be using it car camping. Another thing that sold your stand for me is you actually sell replacement parts on your website. That's a big plus to me.
That was in the forefront of my mind the whole time I design anything, is because I never want anybody to have to make an investment and throw it away. That makes no sense. Everything that could possibly go wrong with the stand, there's real quick, easy fixes to anything that can happen with it.
So in short, we don't have a formal warranty, but if you get your stand and on delivery there's a defective part, we'll replace it right away at no cost to you. If there's a user error and you have an uh-oh, like maybe you did one of those things that we've talked about in this video, then you should only have to replace 1 or 2 parts inexpensively, and you can always find those parts on our website. Years down the line, once you've gotten a lot of good use out of your stand, if you need to replace some wear parts like the internal shock cord, we'll have that available on our website as well. Cal's a master at designing these things where they're easy to take apart, they're easy to put back together, it's easy to remove one bent pole and put a brand new one in right in place, so won't be any issues.
There will not.
I seem to have lost all of my green caps that came with my TurtleBug stand. What can I do?
Once you assemble your stand, there's very few reasons for you to take it apart again, so they're not really necessary. If you do need them for some reason, like on the ridge pole, if you're going to change your camper to a chair, if you don't have any stoppers, you can just use a carabiner, just clip it right on the loops and the shock cord, and that'll work great. Also, we do have replacement discs available now. They'll be on our webpage soon, so you can just purchase some more if you need them.
I've been looking at the TurtleBug stand for a while, ever since it came out. I think it would be perfect for me. However, I'm a rather large person, 310 pounds. I know your website says the weight capacity is 300 pounds, but what's the real weight rating for the stand?
The long and short answer of that, unfortunately, is 300 pounds. When we weight rate our stands, we take into consideration normal use. So a 300-pound person can use this stand and doesn't have to worry about breaking it. Obviously, we have tested it to more than 300 pounds because otherwise you couldn't rate it for 300 pounds, but that's what we feel is a safe weight rating where people don't have to worry about bad things happening.
That also means using the hammock stand, A, setting it up the way it was meant to be set up, and B, entering and exiting your hammock the right way, which we'll show you in a minute. And also, while you're in the hammock, moving appropriately in it. If I have a lot of extra weight on me and I go to flop or fall into the stand, then that's going to put a lot more than 300 pounds of pressure on the ridge pole. But if I sit down in the stand carefully and I use my leg muscles to lower myself in, then that's the appropriate amount of force on the stand. When it's time to put my feet in, I'm going to turn gently and gradually and lay down gently. While in the stand, I'm not going to be flailing around and flopping. So it's just entering and exiting your stand with care, taking care to make sure your stabilizer, one of your stabilizer poles is off the ground at all times.
Also, make sure you maintain a 30-degree angle on your suspension, because if you crank it down tight, you're putting infinitely more stress on the top rail. It won't even hold what it's rated for. Pretty much all hammocks suggest a 30-degree hang angle, which is if you just go like this and make a 90-degree with your forefinger and your thumb, and you put it on the suspension, they should meet and be, your forefinger should be flat. And that's how you know you're at a 30-degree angle.
So 300 pounds is the ceiling for this stand. A 300-pound person will be safe using this stand as long as they do it properly. Anything above and beyond 300 pound, you cannot email me and get a different answer than what we say on our website. That's our hard limit, and that's for your safety and our liability reasons. And the same goes for all of our other stands. We have a hammock stand rated for 425 pounds. We have a hammock stand rated for 200 pounds. So whatever that weight rating is on the website, that's what it's going to be, even if you send me an email and ask for a different number. It's just a comment. Very easy initial setup. Second setup went even faster. Very good build quality, solid feel while in the hammock.
Thank you so much. We really work really hard designing these stands, and it's always great to hear positive feedback. We really appreciate that. Thank you.
That was a 5-star review on the website, by the way. Just wanted to say how much I love my TurtleBug camping hammock stand. Cal did a great job. The more I use it, the more I appreciate having it. What a game changer it is.
Thank you. You have no idea what those comments mean to us. I love designing these stands, but even more than that, my true reward is seeing how people get to enjoy them. So I really appreciate all your feedback. It makes my heart happy.
I have no trees in my backyard to hang my hammock, but it doesn't matter anymore. I can take my TurtleBug to the beach, the park, or anywhere else and not worry about having two trees the proper distance apart, the proper size for my tree straps, or what spot the family wants. It doesn't matter anymore because I got a TurtleBug and it'll pretty much go anywhere. Thanks, YOBOgear.
Yeah, that's why we do what we do.
Yeah, that's every reason just listed, like no hassle. It's such a great comment, and that's exactly who and what we had in mind when we made these stands. So thank you always for your feedback. Always feel free to reach out with questions you have. We're happy to help. We love making videos about them because that is easier for customers to watch and understand what we mean, and then it also helps us understand how we can better communicate with you guys. Thank you for the constant communication. Thank you for the 5-star reviews. We've said it before, we'll say it again. We have the best customers in the world.
Absolutely.
We're so grateful for you guys. And as always, happy hammocking.
Happy hammocking, everybody.
Okay, now I'm gonna do my trick. So you stand right here. And now, as a reward,
we will attempt.
we are going to do a trick for you. Okay, here I come.
Okay, let's do this.